Good morning, Sasha. It's Warrior Wednesday, and I want to talk a little bit about leadership here. So, I know that you've been frustrated recently and I even mentioned this to you. I think that you're experiencing perhaps some bad leadership. Now, no leader is perfect, and I've worked for everything from amazing leaders all the way down to toxic leaders who eventually got relieved for being a toxic leader. So, I've kind of seen the gamut of good and bad leaders. And one of the things that I've told you probably this before, when you're working for a bad leader, like, try to do your best to be a good follower, to ask good questions, because a lot of times poor leadership comes down to a lack of good communication. So asking questions, trying to get clarity, the more you can sort of make sure that you're understanding what they're saying, will be helpful, because sometimes they're just not communicating well. Now, sometimes they're making decisions that you just don't agree with. And so what do you do then? Well, as we've talked about, right? If it's illegal, unethical, or immoral, then obviously you don't follow that directive. Beyond that, then you have to make you can make an appeal to your leadership. Whoever the first line supervisor is typically the way it works is you typically don't want to skip chain of command. A lot of battalion commanders, brigade commanders will have an open door policy. Those are good, but you need to be very careful about how you use them, not because of reprisals, but simply because it's not a great look oftentimes to just go around and over everyone's head. I think that you've been fairly transparent in this one as you've been emailing people, and I think you're doing a good job of emailing the right people. But at the same time, I know that there's a lot of frustration, and just realize that, when you're the low man on the totem pole, you don't make the rules, right? When you get to be the general of the army, then you can make all the rules that you want to. But until that time, and honestly, actually, he still has to, follow the directives of the president and everything else. So until the time in which you are the top dog, the big, the person making all the decisions, there is an aspect of you will have to, at some point in your career, just kind of suck it down and go with something. Now, again, there's always an appeal process, but at the same time, there's always a stop to that. You don't keep going to the IG and everyone else just because you don't like a particular policy. Now, this particular one that you've been working on seems a little unfair, seems a little bit like kind of changing the rules on you. And so I completely support you respectfully trying to elevate this. I do even believe that there might be, a fair, rationale for bringing this all the way to the lieutenant colonel, because it's kind of a big deal. It's a big waste of time. And more importantly, it's because it's really kind of violating at least the spirit of your agreement. Now, honestly, it'd be great if this individual who told you, hey, just remember you don't have to do this. If there was anything in writing, that would be great. If it's not, then you can still use it, especially if he'll back you and say, yeah, we told you this. If he won't, then you're just kind of stuck with, well, I know what I was told, and make the appeal. Now, understand that at some point, at some level, right, at the lieutenant colonel level or wherever, they may still tell you, you have to do this. In which case, there's really not a lot you can do. I mean, I wish there was a better solution for it, but at some point, you just sort of like salute smartly, and you just kind of do it. And I know that's not a great answer, and it can be very frustrating, but sometimes that's what we have to do. So hope this helps a little bit. Not the most encouraging Warrior Wednesday. I apologize. Hopefully a couple of the other videos will be a little bit more encouraging. All right. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.